It's Friday night pint time, and we've got a lot to talk about in the world of West Ham. That's right. We're going to get together a few mates and talk about all the biggest stories and the goings on around West Ham this week, and lots to discuss, lots going on. But before we get into that, I'm obviously joined by Graham and Scott. Before we get into that, I want to send our condolences to the Gold family once again. Really devastating news, and you've really got to feel for that family with everything they're going through. At the moment, tragic. 62 in this day and age is no age. It's still too young.
No age, is it?
Just really sudden out of nowhere.
Family. Yeah, I was shocked when I read it. It was So condolences to the Gold family.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Really feel for them. But yeah, I mean, obviously, as the title says, we're going to be talking about having a discussion and debate maybe on if West Ham should be keeping Moyes if he wins the Conference League and keeps us up. Obviously, I can only put so much in the title. That goes without saying. He's got to keep us up. But the notion of, does he deserve to stay? Should we keep him if we do win that and stay up? Let's get into it. Obviously, we're going to be talking about some other bits and pieces, the Conference League draw, if we can actually win the bloody thing, relegation battle. I want to talk about Patrick Vieira actually getting sacked and what that means for West Ham. But yeah, I mean, lads, let's start with you guys. Whoever wants to jump in, Moyes. If we do win that Conference League and stay up, what do you think? Should we keep him? Does he deserve to keep his job? Should we stick with him?
Go on, Scott.
It's a bit of a landmine, you're looking at me.
It is, because, so it's basically, we stay up, we win our first trophy for
43 years.
40-odd years.
43 years.
And then we sack him. So, a bit harsh if he wins a trophy. But I know what people are going to say. People are going to sit there and say, oh, it's only the Conference League, it's only this, it's only that. But, as much as the football's not great at times, he would have delivered the first trophy in 43 years.
Yeah.
I
mean, it would just look... That's what I'm looking for. If we had a manager to win our first trophy. The thing is, people going, it's only the conference. As I said to you last night, Scott, the final last year, final and Roma. Two pretty big clubs in the final there. So,
above the Carabao. I think it's better than the Carabao to me. I think it's a level above the Carabao Cup.
Of course, it's just because it's a European competition, Dan.
The Carabao gets you qualification into the Conference League, where the Conference League gets you qualification.
Do you know what?
And it's a bigger and better looking trophy. That Carabao looks absolutely tin pot. You know what I mean? I think Graham and Scott have won more trophies in Sunday, bigger trophies, should I say, in Sunday League than that little rinky dink.
We had when we won the league, we had a massive shield.
Yeah, I understand we have.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's I don't know what would, to the outsiders looking in at our club. We've got a manager that delivers our first trophy for 43 years, and we sack him. What would you think would be our profile to outsiders? Not that I really care what other people think about us or our club, but it would just look, because who was it? One of the Real Madrid managers, didn't he win the European Cup? They didn't win the league, so they sacked him. I think it was back in the 90s. I can't remember who it was. I'm sure someone in the comments will know.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you look at it, it's a case of he delivers a trophy. So you look at Leicester, for argument's sake, when they won the Premier League. All right, they won the Premier League. They were never going to sack him come the summer, but how far did we get? 6 months down the line, he was out the door.
Yeah,
and as much as I think it would be harsh to sack him because of if we were to win the trophy and stay in the Premier League, there's no room for sentiment in modern day football. And this is the thing. It's So I just personally, if I got sacked after winning the club's first trophy, I'd feel very hard done by.
Well, give me I want a clear answer for you guys, because you've done a good job skirting around the fence, tipping to one side, then leaning to one side. You've got the choice. The choice is in your hands, right? He keeps us up, obviously. Like I said, people in the chat, that goes without saying. So none of this, if we get relegated, we're assuming we stay in the Premier League. And he wins that Conference League. Are you keeping him? Do you want to give Moyes a chance? Would you say, all right, Moyes, I want to, you continue? What do you want to see if that happens?
Go on, Gray.
Your neck
I don't know, I'd like to see a bit more ambition in our football and a bit more positive direction with the play. I'll be honest, it's not great to watch at times. So I don't know.
Sounds like you're running for Prime Minister here, Gray.
No, I don't know. The thing is, it's like at times I'm like, do you know what? He's so negative. He's got to go. But then, if he brings you your first trophy for 43 years and a European one at that, I'd say maybe. If he won it, I'd say maybe give him the start of the following season, and if after a few months things don't improve, then.
Okay, so you'd keep him. You want to keep him if we win that. Keep it at the end of the season, and then give him 2 months to see us improve.
Yeah, you've got to see some improvement, like in the league form. But I don't know. I just think it'd be very harsh if someone delivers your first trophy for donkey's years and then you sack them. I think maybe they might have earned the right to at least carry on for a few months if they've won a trophy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to stick my neck out and agree. At the end of the day, if we stay up and we win a trophy, he has to stay. Look, the football's not great. We know that. His tactics sometimes, his in-game management's poor. But at the end of the day, we survived relegation. And at the start of the season, if you had said 17th in a trophy, I'll take it all day long. So yeah, he has to stay. Like Graham, you give him a couple of months. If things ain't turned around, things ain't improved, then he's out the door. You can't sack someone who's delivered the club's first trophy and kept you in the Premier League when your season's been poor, even though he's part of the problem.
We finally got there. Well, I'll give you my opinion. Some might know.
Say, Dan, what are you thinking? You're pressing me and Scott for an answer. What do you say?
Listen, mine's not going to come as difficultly as yours. Trust me, I'm not going to be straddling no fences. Let me quickly get to Gravy's super chat. We did save that for once I got these guys' answers. But Gravy says with €5.99 super chat. Gravy over there in Ireland says happy St. Patrick's Day, lads. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. Big win last night and day off drinking today. Can't get much better. Like the stream. Thank you very much, Gravy. Listen, hope you're having.
Thank you very much.
A good
happy St. Patrick's Day to our Irish followers and viewers and friends.
Yeah, enjoy it. Basically, piss up day. Is what it is. But yeah, look, this is what I can understand both of your viewpoints on that, right? And it does look harsh and it does seem tough, but we've got to do what's best for the future of our club, right? And going forward, I don't think that Moyes is what's best for the future, for the long-term future of our club. I just think in the terms of, developing and progressing in his style of play, in coaching and man management, I think he's got a lot of issues there. To me, he always seemed and felt like a short-term appointment, and that's what he seems to be able to do is really squeeze every little bit out of the players that he has over a short period of time. But to build something, to be able to identify players, bring them in, integrate them, I understand, what's best, positions they play in, fit the systems round them, all of those sort of things. Moyes seems very inadequate in them, and that's part of the reason we're having the problem we're having. This whole talk about going from counter-attacking to possession-based and all of that. And it's just been a massive failure. And it seems to be, you know, we're hearing about he's lost the players. The players have, you know, ex-employees, a very good source. Talking about the players basically fed up with his approach to games and his methods. And, you know, if he's pissing off players, I think it's going to be integral to keep some of these players is getting rid of Moyes and potentially getting in new, you know, quality players. And with Noble now, we've finally got a director of football. He's still got to prove himself. Hopefully we can start to rejuvenate our recruitment process and then just get a quality manager who's in touch with the modern game, who understands, you know, the different leagues and players and all of that sort of thing. Get them in and build something rather than just like, oh, fuck, we can't sack him now, can we? So let's just keep him a couple of months. And we start the season on the bad foot. And then we have to go and scrape around. And then it's going to be the same bollocks, like, oh, what managers are out there? What's out there? And we go into that circle. Whereas if we sack him end of the season, we've got all that time to get the right manager in, let them get there, because we're just going to end up with Moyes' players again. And then we've got a new manager has to work with them and not his own players. So we're starting from behind. You know, sorry for that long tirade, but you know what I mean?
On that principle, Dan, then just sack him now.
No, but the reason why, and I understand, look, and I would have said,
no, if you're going to sack him. Don't wait, like you're saying, sack him. Like Scott says, get rid of him then.
If the rumours are true that he's lost the players and all that type of thing, right, and there's stuff going on behind the scenes and all that, sack him now.
But they won't.
But this and then that makes sacking him at the end of the season even more ridiculous. You know what I mean? If that's true, right, and he's lost the players. Yeah, he's lost the dressing room. The players are not playing for him. Then why is he still there?
Because they don't think that there's anyone else better out there. That's why. That's literally it. Is they think that there's no options, and this is we're going to talk about Vieira later, and that comes into that of they seem to think there's better out there, but we just won't. And I listen. I've been calling to sack him, you know, since like October, November. So if they ain't sacked him by now, they're going to give him at least till the end of the season, especially while we're through. They're not going to sack him just before a quarter final, and then essentially a semi.
Tottenham sacked Mourinho before a final.
Yeah, but that's because they're Tottenham and they're allergic to trophies. Listen, I know we ain't won one in God knows.
So wait, you could say the same about us because we.
No, but you know what the thing is about us.
Years, so.
No, but you know what the thing is about us, Gray, is we don't walk around calling ourselves part of the Big Six and we're Johnny Big Bollocks and all of that like Spurs.
No, we don't. But then we're sitting there going, well, even if he wins us a trophy, our first trophy, just get rid.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm with what I think it was Ryan. I think said it that he can see Moyes walking away, and
that would be ideal.
Well, to be fair, if
he ain't going to, is he? Because he's going to miss out on pay it. Like they'll have to pay him off. He ain't going to just walk away from it, is he?
But the thing is, Gray, if we stay up and he wins that Conference League, he can sit there and walk away and say, "Well, I finally won a trophy." You know, right? Yeah. We didn't have a great season, but I kept the club in the Premier League and I've won a trophy. And that's time
have job offers as well.
Exactly. If he wins that trophy, his stock ain't going to go down because, like everything, you're not going to sit there and remember where you finished in the Premier League. Or you're going to sit there and think, "We won the trophy."
Yeah. I just don't want to gamble another season away on sentimentality, because that's what it is. If we're keeping him, it's for sentimentality. It's because, well, you know, he's won us a trophy. It's not because there's genuine belief that he can go and manage because we're going to be in the Europa. If we win that, we're in the Europa League. So we'd have to then compete on two fronts again: Premier League, Europa League. Europa League, obviously, a lot tougher competition than the Conference League. We got to a semi-final before, yes, but this is what's happened now. We've spent money. He's expanded the squad. We've gone backwards. Let's not forget, there's a high probability that Declan Rice is going in the summer, which means we're going to have to replace him. I don't trust David Moyes to replace Declan Rice. I don't. I know you think Flynn Downs is the replacement, this, that, and the other. There's no way we can have Flynn Downs going into Rice's shoes in the summer based on the amount of minutes he's played this season. But whatever happens, we're going to need to spend that money wisely. I don't trust.
We've got once Rice leaves, we've got this is the thing. It's not about replacing Rice, right? It's about building a side now without Declan Rice in it.
And do you trust him to do that?
Flynn Downs is part of that puzzle. He's that holding midfield part of that puzzle.
Yeah, he don't play.
You can't. The way Souček is passing ability. You know, all right, he put some decent passing in yesterday, but you can't have Downs and Souček as your midfield pair. Right, so you've got to be looking as Downs is going to be the one that's going to do the dirty work.
It'll be Paqueta and Souček if it's Moyes. If Moyes is in charge, if Paqueta stays, I'm telling you, that's what we're looking. It's Moyes.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I disagree with you.
No. But what I'm saying is Downs has been brought in to play that holding midfield role.
But he's not playing it. He's not getting enough time.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
He's played in a flipping 10 practically. He's played more.
But this is it, you know, and this is the problem, and this is the thing, right? As much as I sat there and said it's a bit harsh to be able to sack a manager after delivering your first trophy, if Moyes goes, I'm not sitting here and saying I want Moyes to stay. I'm very disappointed in how we're playing this season, how we've been this season, and as I said, if he has lost the dressing room, then he should go because you don't get the dressing room back, right? But I'm looking at it, you know, a bit of sentiment. That's why I said that you shouldn't really sack him if we delivers this trophy. But we have got to now start looking, and this is the board as well. If Rice is definitely off in the summer, if they have no faith in Moyes to build a squad without him, as I said, Downs is there to play that holding midfield role. It's now to build around that. So, you know, we stay up, back to Zuma and Aguerd. Starters without foul. Downs will play in front of them. Keep Paqueta, great. That's one part of the midfield. Then you've got to work out your system that you're playing. The backbone of the side, once Rice leaves, is still there. You've still got the two centre halves. Downs will slot into that holding midfield.
We need another centre back desperately, at least another one. We need two in the summer because I don't want to rely on Zuma. He's injury prone, and Ogbonna is he's either going to be let go or be given a year extension by, you know, we don't want to be relying on Ogbonna. Kura, obviously there's question marks over Kura, and Aguerd is the only one that you look at, even though he's had some moments this season, the only one you look at and say, yeah, like, cool, I'm comfortable with him, I'm happy with him. So that back line, we need, left back. Emerson's doing well, but we need two, you know, so we need to invest there. Right back, Soufal's out of contract. Johnson is looked very shaky this season. We're going to need a right back. We need a right winger because we can't rely on Bowen. You know, this is it. We need potentially an actual proper number 10 creator. Lanzini will be going. But Paqueta was brought to play that role, and Moyes realised that he's not that role. So,
of course not. Paqueta's more of a box-to-box type midfielder. You see it in the games. You know, he wants to get stuck in.
You want him picking the ball up deep. You want it all in front of him.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Moyes didn't. This is the other thing why I don't trust him. Moyes didn't work that out until January. So this is why I don't trust him to manage that rebuild. We've got quite a few players probably going. Nicky's having a bath or something, and Ryan's ill, by the way. I forgot to say that at the top of the show. Nicky's in the bath or something.
Nicky's in bath.
He's in bath
having a bath. That's what he said.
In a Roman bath.
Oh, a Roman bath. It makes it more posh.
And Ryan's not feeling very well. So
I'll get to some comments in a minute. Steve, I've got your comment as well.
The thing is, I know like we've gone a bit off subject what we were talking about in the first part of it, but when you look at next season, like you said, Dan, the money for Rice has got to be used very, very wisely. You know, if Rice is not staying, then I think we're all now adamant that he's probably going to go in the summer. He may surprise us and stay. You know, but we're looking at it that next season we're not going to have him. So it's now to look at what we need. You know, when me and Graham were talking yesterday, and for me, even if we stay up, there's 7 players that need replacing in that squad to be able to compete next season in.
And that's just
Premier League
starting. That's just starting players. That's not including building a squad.
That's players that need replacing without certain people being, letting Soufal go will be a big mistake.
Honestly, I agree. I'd give him because I think he's improved. He had a poor run after his surgery, but I think he's improved. I would be keeping him. But I think this is why the big thing, and there's an argument to say, it's you've got to be fair to him and give him a chance after winning that trophy. But with all them players that we have to sign, you've seen it how we've signed these players in the summer. Scamacca's, Paqueta's, obviously Cornet had his injury, but but they talk about it's taking them time to integrate and adapt and all of that. We have a lot of new players, and how Moyes slow burns everyone. You don't just throw them in. It takes his time with them. We won't have that time because we need players that can come in and slot in, and we have a defined, identified style of play, system, tactics, strategy, all of that, and they're brought in to fill a clear role based on what they've done elsewhere. And Moyes has proven that he can't do that again. Scamacca. He's expecting him to be another Antonio. That's how he looks at him. He doesn't play to Scamacca's strengths.
Yeah,
and that's the big issue.
Scamacca looks better when we've had Cornet in there.
I think you look better when you have Lanzini, when you have Ben Rama, or players that can actually play on the ball and pass and link up. Like those sorts of players, not when he's playing in front of Souček.
Yeah,
you put Paqueta as well.
Paqueta. You look at Paqueta. Paqueta's on the same wavelength as Scamacca. The thing with Cornet is direct. When he plays out on the left, he's direct. He looks to put the crosses in for the striker, which Scamacca thrives off of. As we said in other games when Scamacca's played, there's been no. We said it on a post-match reaction. You wouldn't want to be a striker in our team because you never know when that ball's coming into the box. A player like Cornet puts that ball into the box straight away.
The thing is, he takes the defender on, gets the ball straight in, no cutting back.
That's it. And I feel with the likes of Ben Rama, knowing the type of striker that Scamacca is, Ben Rama will try and do that. I know if he plays on the left, he has to cut back and put the cross in, but. And like you said, players like Lanzini and all that, they're looking for that pass. I'll be honest, I thought Lanzini played very well again yesterday, but he doesn't start in the Premier League for me. I don't think he's one of the 7 that need replacing come the end of the season. And I like. I
think Europe suits him better than the Premier League at the minute.
Yeah, I worry for us if Moyes is our manager next season. I think go out on a high. I'll take some comments. It's by the way, it's a topic of conversation. Although those two actually, mock them because they said, he should stay if he wins. By the way, Forest are 1-0 up, as everyone said, against Newcastle. Another result so far going our way, but there's still plenty to go. A howler for Dan Burn, apparently.
Long way to go in that one. Yeah.
Not going our way, you mean? You said going our way.
Not going our way, yes.
I thought you said going our way.
Right, let's get some comments in. Good old Steve, WHU Bell, 499 Super Chat. Thank you very much, mate. We always appreciate it. I think we are all getting a bit giddy after beating a team who Dagenham would have beat. He has to go, just my opinion, lads. And that's an opinion many share. And look, I've said that I look at that we're going to talk about the draw, but I think there are tougher tests to come in this competition. So, you're right. We've got to keep level-headed about it. Mm-hmm. But realistically, there's no way they're going to sack him before that. Unless I think we lose Southampton, then there's going to be a big consideration because it's our league status is on the line. Then if we lose that game, we are by Scott.
He's off.
If we lose that game, we're bang in trouble.
See, the thing is, I'm seeing people going, "Oh, Will Steele, Carrick." we're just assuming that Middlesbrough and they're just going to go, oh, yeah, go and have our manager. They're doing well with us a bit, but you just take them. Go on. We're just
No,
assuming that.
I think those options
The thing is,
are.
Carrick's still learning. He's still learning his trade. I mean,
Yeah.
look what happened in Lampard. He had a good season at Derby, stepped into the job at Chelsea, and I think he should have stayed at Derby a couple more seasons and learnt his trade. And I think Carrick should do the same with Middlesbrough. But, you don't want to jump out the frying pan into the fire, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like the people. There's people out there saying, "Oh yeah, company go like with Palace." I know we're going to get onto that later, but company, it's a step. Oh, Palace is a step up from Burnley. Is it really? You're going to sit there and say, "Well, Palace have been a bit more established in a way in the Premier League," but I don't see the size of the club as a step up, in my opinion. This is the thing. We're very what's the word? Not naive, that to expect that a young manager who's managing a club who could possibly get promoted in the Premier League would want to come to a club that's fighting relegation in the Premier League.
Well, the thing is, I think people are more looking at that in the summer. And if we stay up, we won't be fighting relegation in the summer. Right? These managers won't come. And they're not the sort of managers you want in a relegation battle, really.
No, but the thing is, you say we get to the summer, right? And we get there, and Carrick's been promoted with Middlesbrough. Company's been promoted with Burnley. Are they really going to sit there and go, "Oh, I'm going to go West Ham"?
But you don't know. It depends what the offer is, isn't it?
Yeah,
because
if the offer's right, look, if we've got European football, it's a bigger
European football, bigger transfer budget than Burnley, bigger stature. It's a bigger job.
But maybe sometimes these managers want to see out the project they've started.
But that's what. But if you don't ask, you don't get.
Oh, of course not.
Because look, Carlo Ancelotti went to Everton, right?
Yeah.
And now look, he's probably going to win another bloody Champions League this season.
Mm-hmm.
There's Emery going to Villa mid-season when they were down in the dumps. Where he was at Villarreal.
That's it. It can work.
Yeah. So look, there's nothing wrong with people. I think look at those managers. Go, I'd love us to get him. Yeah, I think there's so many different. I think some people just want a younger manager, but I just don't want to hear any more Raffas or any of that crap.
Yeah, I think a lot of people now, me as well. Look, I know I keep saying with these younger managers it's a risk, and let them cut their teeth and all that, but I'm with you. I think you said it last week, Dan. You're fed up with this manager merry-go-round.
Yeah.
The Benitez is, the Allardyce is, and that type of thing. It's time to move on and stuff like that. But I just don't want us to become like a Watford or sides like that who just willy-nilly sack managers because things ain't going right every 5 seconds.
Yeah, but I know, and I agree. But I think Moyes is gone beyond the willy-nilly sign it 5 seconds with just it's been over a year of shit.
Yeah, I know that. I know. I'm not saying
with the ISIS, but let's continue with the comments. Gary says, "Let's be honest, we ain't getting any better with him. Do you know what? I thought you said Dan him. That was depressing. We ain't getting any better with him, are we? So we risk starting off in the shit again. We need to hit the ground running. Surely Moyes out. I've seen enough. Fair play, Gary. Personally, speaking for myself, I agree with you. 10 men at the back, no one in attack. We're gonna win the Conference League. Just move him upstairs. The footballer's dire for over 12 months. What job are we giving him upstairs? What is it, like cleaner or something? Like he can polish the Conference League trophy that he's won. I don't know what job that would be upstairs. Would you, if he went, would you move him upstairs, so to speak?
What right?
Well, no, if you're going to sack him. If you can sack him, sack him. No point keeping him at the club.
There's no roles upstairs because you've got Nobes as a director of football now, so there isn't a role up there for him. No, as I said, it's as
Noble's assistant. Be Noble's assistant, carry his bags and all of that stuff. George One Foot says, build him a statue. It's a Leicester City FC fan. You know, they was in this competition last season. But yes, he wanted to build us a statue. He's Black Country Hammer, all the old Black Country, says he's football been shocking all season. He has to go. Clown emoji, says Black Country Hammer. Samwa Tingle, I think I pronounced that right. We're not sacking him because he's not won a trophy. We're sacking him because he can't manage our squad effectively. Open bracket, do his job well. Close bracket. Yeah. It's not based on the trophy. Alexander 52 says, even if we won the Euro 2 Bob Cup and stay in the Premier League, I still want Moyes gone, for fuck's sake. Otherwise, it's just the same dross we have been watching all season. I don't know what you lads have been watching. Don't count me in there. Well,
hang on, right? No, not that we just turned around and said it would be a bit harsh the second manager who's delivered your first trophy in 43 years.
Yeah.
We're not
See,
saying
this is the thing. Everyone's going, the Euro 2 Bob Cup.
Yeah.
It's a European trophy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah,
so we were saying it's our best shot at trophy. So people are saying they'd be happy if we got knocked out because they think it's 2 Bob. Is that what we're saying?
What are we saying here? I don't think it's 2 Bob.
I don't think it's 2 Bob. It's a European trophy that's there to be won.
It's 3 Bob. Yeah. Iron says, get rid regardless. Need to look at the bigger picture. Yeah, trophy is good, but it's a made up tournament for losers. Wow, a lot of people are not loving this tournament. But I get the bigger. I agree with the bigger picture sentiment.
Thing is, let's be honest. It's made up a tournament for losers.
There's cup winners in there. Cup winners go in there.
Not being funny. So is some of the Champions League winners.
Yeah. What they won to get in the Champions League? They finished 4th in their league.
Exactly.
They ain't won anything.
Yeah.
And the Europa League, you could say the same about the Europa League itself, rather than the Championship. The Europa League is a lower tier of European football to the Champions League. It's
the trouble is, it's been the Champions League is seen as the be all and end all, same as the Premier League. Premier League's be all and end all. Fuck the FA Cup and all this. The Premier League's the be all and end all. Champions League's bit, so everything else gets demeaned. But it's still it's a European trophy. You always used to have 3 European trophies. You had European Cup, UEFA Cup, Cup Winners' Cup. It's a tournament that's there to be won, a European trophy. Not many teams win European trophies, so to be in with a shout at winning one is no mean feat.
Listen, I tell you what, if we win that, I won't be calling it a 2 Bob Cup. I'm
not calling it a 2 Bob Cup now. It's no different to me. That Conference League is no different to me to what the Cup Winners' Cup used to be.
Yeah.
Or the UEFA Cup used
to be. I'm sure the Roma fans last year weren't going, we won the conference. Oh.
Yeah, it's true, because we don't no West Ham fans slag off the Cup Winners' Cup, do they? No one says, we won a 2-bit trophy in 1965, 2 Bob Cup. But that's what I'm saying. If that's a 2, but you could say the Carabao Cup's a 2 Bob Cup. But Ten Hag was happy to win that, wasn't it?
Yep. We'd be happy to win that. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Danjuma, Dean, good old Dean Algerian Hammer says Danjuma literally rejected us because of Moyes. He's a winning personality. Yeah. Amadit says, if Moyes bought Haaland would be in the same situation as Skamaka on the bench week after week. Yeah, and then expected to just play the Antonio role. He needs his physical data. We need to improve Haaland's physical data.
Do you know what, though, right? I could see that as well. That's how bad it is. You could see that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's got to adapt to the Premier League. We need to give him... Oh, mate. Honestly, I can't.
What's he got? How many has he got now? Is he 38 or something? 39 goals?
He's around 30, I think. 28, 30. It's ridiculous. So I think that might just be in the league. Yeah, I don't know what his own competitions, but he's going to break the record. It's unreal. Absolutely unreal. Sufal's got to stay, gutted, but understand Dawson had to go. I think we could have kept Dawson for a few more months, just till the end of the season. And when you look at it now and what he's doing at Wolves, I think was a bit of an own goal, really, on our part.
I think it was more him who wanted out, didn't he? Because he wanted to move back further up north.
He couldn't wait just 5 more months, you
But
know.
to be fair, mate, I think he wanted to go in the summer, so he sort of waited 4 or 5 months anyway.
Yeah, but when you look at it and you see, he weren't expecting us to be in a relegation battle. We weren't expecting to be in a relegation battle.
The thing is, as we've said before, you know, footballers' careers are quite short-lived. You're only one injury away from retirement.
Yeah, but he's got a chance. He had a chance. Well, he's probably. I don't know if we played him in the European competition, but he would have had a chance to play in a final. And so when we're saying his career's short, what is he's going from mid-season?
No, I'm just saying, you know, he wanted to move back up there for family reasons. So you sort of got to let, you know, you got to get. He didn't, when he didn't move in the summer, he didn't throw his toys out the pram. I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying, mate. And it, you know, in the end, it worked out a big loss.
Pyatt left for family reasons, and no one forgave him.
Yeah, because he threw his toys out the pram and refused to play.
Well, he did eventually, yeah. But if we said to Dawson, right, we're in the shit now. We're in a relegation battle. We really need you. And we can't be selling you to a relegation rival. Look, let's just stick with us till the end of the season, and then you're done. You know what I mean? Surely we could have convinced him, or would he have thrown his toys out of the pram?
I don't think he would have.
No, he's never struck me as that sort of player.
And to be fair, I don't know whether I think my timing's right, but I think if Aguerd hadn't got that injury that he got in the summer, Dawson would have gone in the summer. I think Dawson only stayed, or they only asked Dawson to stay because we lost Aguerd for the period of time we lost Aguerd.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. So we was in the shit, so we had to ask him. Was in bit deeper shit in January.
But that might have been an agreement between him and Moyes. You know, look, we need you to stay with us because we can't fund another centre half. You know, I know we went and signed Kerr in the end, but it could be that. It could be an agreement behind closed doors between the manager and the player.
Literally sold him to a relegation rival. That one deal could send us down.
Yeah, of course it could.
So at the end of the day, yeah, okay, he's going to have to wait 5 more months, right? Or 4 more months from the time he went. But our Premier League status, you know, is going to be a lot more secure. And, you know, takes precedence. You know, unless it's an emergency or whatever. I'm just saying, surely there could have been a conversation to say.
Yeah. And that's
or if we sell you, you're not going to a relegation rival. We see you to the Championship, some Northern club up Championship. We're not selling you to a relegation rival.
Someone's put in the comments here, apparently his child was ill, so it's family reasons.
Well, yeah, it's fine, but so he wanted to be closer up north.
Yeah,
right.
Family always comes.
And the thing is, Dan, it's a case of it's all right saying, we shouldn't have sold it. And granted, we should probably sold him to a relegation rival, but maybe they were the only club that come in for him.
Well, it's not like we had a bidding war going on or anything, or there was options.
Exactly, we didn't have a bidding war. It weren't like.
No, but you don't think for him. No, but there weren't enough time for a bidding war because as soon as Wolves came in, we took the first bid.
But if someone else was interested, they would have come in and said, "Oh, hold on a minute, we want him as well."
That's what I'm saying. You think that Wolves were the only club that would have took Dawson?
They may have been the only club that were interested in him, or maybe the only club that had the finances to bring him in at the time.
I mean, I would have took a cheaper deal for him and sold him to a Championship club looking for promotion.
Yeah, but surely there might not be the Championship club looking at him. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, Scott. But you can't just assume that only Wolves wanted him. He's obviously a good player, and his stock has risen. You're telling me You're telling me we couldn't at least even loan him to Championship club to the end of the season up north.
If there was a club interested, we could have done that.
You think they wouldn't be interested in that? You think if we went to, let's see, the Championship, right?
I don't know, mate. I'm not a manager of a Championship club.
No, but I'm not asking you to speak for them. I'm asking you to just logically think about if you were a manager of a Championship club looking for promotion, a Premier League level centre back is offered to you on loan to the end of the season with a view to buy. You wouldn't accept that.
Of course I would.
Yeah, look, Black Country Average put his family live in Sutton Coldfield, which is in the Midlands. So, his family reasons, he's moved to a club to be near his family, near his home.
Are they only club in the Midlands?
But Dan, he's gone there for his family reasons. Family comes
Yeah,
first.
but I'm saying, Graham, that's not the only club in the
I know,
Midlands, is
but
it?
he don't care about. He don't care about. He's just thinking of his family.
Yeah,
That's all
I
he's
know,
thinking
Graham,
about.
but we knew that in the summer, Graham. We knew that in the summer that he wanted
His
to
kid
do
was
that.
ill. His kid was ill.
Graham, listen to what I'm saying, Graham.
Carry on.
Just listen. We knew that he wanted to go in the summer for these reasons. Yes, we asked him to stay because Aguerd got injured until January. Now, so we have all of this time between then and January to look for deals, shopping around to clubs and find a club for him.
To pimp him out.
Telling me we can't, in all of that time, go to other clubs near his family and say, we've got an offer here. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not as cut and dry as what you're saying. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying fuck Craig Dawson. What I'm saying is, I think we could have put a bit more effort in to find a deal that suits him, gives him what he wants, and gives him what we want. Do you know what I'm saying?
Dan, I get what you're saying, mate. And I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying.
But this is what I'm saying. People are thinking I'm saying fuck Craig Dawson. What I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying. There's idiots in the chat. Your kids come first. Did I say kids don't come first? You're not listening to what I'm saying.
What you're basically saying is
we could put his kids first and find a club. We could have put a bit, but everything was rush. Everything was fucking like, oh right, yeah, we completely forgot that he wanted to leave. Oh shit, Wolves will take that deal rather than knowing in August. In fact, I think we knew before August there was rumblings last season, right? And so from that point, what I'm saying is to be in a situation where we don't have to sell him to a rival and say, okay, let's shop some offers around. Where would you be happy to live? What areas? You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Right, hold on. I'm gonna put a spanner in your works a bit. What's to say that Wolves wanted him in the summer, and also were part of the agreement that they'd allow him to stay with us until January? And the deal
if you can show me that, then I'll agree. If you show me that, you're just throwing a crazy hypothetical at me.
But we don't know. And this is all the thing. We don't know if there was any other club interested in him. We don't know if the agreement was done in the summer with that. We don't know if the preferred choice for Dawson was Wolves. And that's the other thing. Dawson might have wanted to go to Wolves. There might have not been anyone else he wanted to play. We just don't know.
What I'm saying is we've left ourselves in a fucking situation that I'm saying that we've sold him to a relegation rival. So it could have repercussions. What I'm saying is there's a possibility that we could have found a solution that worked for Dawson and worked out better in our favour.
And also,
that's what I'm saying.
But
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying fuck Dawson or his kids.
When we sold him to Wolves, we had already played Wolves twice. Right? So I'm going to put the Mourinho aspect on it of we sell a player that could potentially get clean sheets for our renegade another side or score goals against teams that are down there with us, but they ain't got to play against us. So, same as what Chelsea done with Juan Mata when they sold it to Man United.
Yeah, but you look at that. But I'm saying, if at the end of the day, if they get more points than us,
it could bite you in the backside. But
yeah,
it could work. It could be a stroke of brilliance because Dawson could go and score the winner against Leeds or Bournemouth, and we stay up by a point because Wolves beat Bournemouth and Dawson scored that goal. There's so many hypotheticals of it. I get what you're saying, but it could also work out in our favour.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. All I'm saying is, better could have. It just seemed very abrupt. The whole situation it seemed very abrupt, and he's doing really well for Wolves. He's doing really well, and we're in a very shaky situation. And I think we go down. We look back on that deal was one of the reasons why it could have happened. Yeah, honestly, West Brom. Obviously, yeah, he's a West Brom boy. Well, not, I don't know if he's
He
his boy, but
played for West Brom,
he
hasn't
played
he?
for West
Already?
Brom.
Yeah, but as I said,
Yeah.
that could have been his perfect club to go to. Maybe they didn't want him.
I think obviously that Wolves were the best financial deal, and that's what it comes down to.
Yeah,
Not for him, but for us. I mean,
of course it is, because it's business.
But at the end of the day, but you look at it business, because if that sends us down, then that's costing us a shitload of money, isn't it?
But as I said, could potentially keep us up.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Anyway,
yeah, but I think that's a way to look at it. If you're selling to rivals because it keeps you up because you're selling to rivals, I don't know about that one.
I can't.
Can you hear me all right? Can you hear me all right?
Of course we can.
Yeah. No, my mic keeps going on and off. It keeps going on to mute and then coming off again.
Wow, it's probably a loose wire.
Or you might have to talk a bit more, Gray.
Or someone's muting me.
You said it's going on and off. Right.
Yeah,
I muted you that time. Yeah, there you go. I muted you that time. But yeah, I don't even know how we got onto that subject. I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's move on.
I don't know. Evening, lads, from Ginger Carroll. Listen, at the end of the day,
right, Ginger.
Have to play. Yeah, shout out to Ginger Carroll, Kurt. Have to play what's in front of us. Yeah, we played right against lower opposition, but still thought we could and should have done more. It was a bit of a boring game. That's Ginger Carroll's assessment. Now, Steve Hicks says, all I'm hearing is Moyes in, Moyes out. He kept us up and got us two European seasons running. The guy should get a load of credit on what he done with those players. I think if he leaves now, he'll get credit, of course. I mean, if he does that, I'm saying he should go, but I think he'll go on a high, and that's the best way, I think, if he can go out and say, do you know what? Assess the 3 seasons for what they are and say, fair play. Do you know what I mean? We had saw some shit football, had a rocky ride, but European football 3 seasons running and a trophy. Well done. Head held high. Good luck. Wish you all the best.
And that's the thing. That's what we were saying. You know, you then start looking at, you forget about this season and look at it that we had 2 seasons European football. Some of the best memorable nights that we've had since the move to the London Stadium, and probably some of the best memorable nights we've had for a long time. You know, so it'd be the perfect way, because I think everyone gets what they want. He gets a win in a trophy and looks at it and go, you know, I'll give this club 3 seasons of European football and won them a trophy and can walk away, and we might get better football next season.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If that's going to be the plan, they really need to start thinking about a replacement now, or looking now. If that's you don't want to get to the end of the season and then start looking, because other clubs are going to be preparing for their pre-season, their new campaign, especially, you know, teams coming up. So
see, that's the problem. Is the reason why they've kept him this long is because they don't have the forward thinking, and they've got to this point now and go, oh, we don't know who to get, so we'll keep him. So I don't really trust them to have that forward thinking. They'll get there. They won't know they're sacking him until after the end of the game, if we win the conference or not, and then they'll assess what the fan feeling is. And then, I agree with you, Gray, but I don't have much faith in them, honestly. But yeah, credit is definitely gone if we get it's 1-1 now in the Newcastle game. But let's look at it actually. That point of there being no one better out there than Moyes right now. There's no one else better. Who can we get? Who could we get? Vieira obviously has just been sacked from Crystal Palace. Now, I mean, who they're linked with, who they're heavily linked with, who the front runner is, could argue in the board's favour, because the front runner to take over at Palace is none other than Roy Hodgson, 75-year-old retired. Roy Hodgson is leading the race to take over at Palace.
I think Vieira took over from him, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did. I mean, look, they haven't won a game in a long time, so you can sort of understand.
Realise that they haven't won in the leagues in 2023.
Yeah,
that's mental.
Yeah, I mean, but we went a long time without winning a game before the Everton game. We hadn't won since October.
The thing is, Palace, I think they went, was it 3 or 4 games in a row without a single shot on target? No, I don't think they've scored for like 6 games. So
I think in the relegation battle, there's only us and Forest now who haven't changed managers.
Yeah, that's it. And Forest, I mean, their fans have not been against Steve Cooper. They've been behind him, and that's a big reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, currently drawing against Newcastle, so they're probably going to be, if they see this through, they'll be fine because they'll be on 29 points if they get the draw. If they get the win, let me just check that's right and that's updated because that's probably not updated. Okay, 27, for a draw. So they're on 27 points. If they win, they'll be on 29. So yeah, look, I just look at that and it's hard. It's a bit harsh on Vieira. I liked Vieira. I don't think he had the tools. He didn't have as much as we had in terms of spend. They were very reliant on Zaha, who got injured, missed quite a few games. So, look, I'm not a Palace fan, and people say that we're harsh for wanting Moyes gone, so I can't criticise. But by the reaction, I don't think their fans wanted him sacked, and they've sacked him anyway.
Yeah, I think listening to what I've listened to on the radio today, there's I think there's things going on behind the scenes as well with it all. They said that Vieira, for the way he was on the pitch, wasn't like that in the dugout, so to speak. And there was times when he sort of needed to be. And it's one of them when you look at it. If you go 3 or 4 games without having a shot on target with the talented players that they've got there, they've got Zaha, Eze. Is it Elise? Elise,
yeah.
Yeah. Who's the strikers they got? Edouard.
Yeah, Edouard. Yeah, apparently he's not been really playing him.
Yeah, and someone else, and Ayew as well. To not have a shot on target, that's bad. And you've got to be looking. You've got to be looking at the players. You can't. You can criticise the manager in some extent, but if you're making them chances and not hitting the target, that's down to the players. It's that for them type of players that they've got there to have that and not score a goal for 2 or 3 games. That's quite bad.
Yeah. It's not ever a single shot on target in 3 or 4 games, whatever it was.
It's a bit different if you're set. And the thing is, if you were setting up the way Moyes sets up some of the time, you can understand it. But Palace did sort of try and take the game to teams at times.
They got I
watched a bit of their game against City the other week. They played pretty well against City. I mean, it was a tough game at City. They only sort of got it near the end.
Yeah. It's honestly, it's, to me, I think that but like I said, they've got a very young squad. I think is a big part of it as well. So I liked Vieira. I was looking at the point where I was considering, like, I wouldn't mind Vieira at West Ham. Things look a lot badly now when you're coming off the back of this, but he has got experience as a manager. This weren't his first job in football. He's been coaching in France. I think he managed in America. So yeah, it's a bad look now, but I'm sure he'll find another job. But yeah, for us, obviously that's our competition. They could get Rod Hodgson, and he might grind out results. I think they would have been threatened to get him dragged into it because we're 3 points behind them. As well. So
the thing is, from 12th down to 20th, it's very tight.
This season will be one of them seasons where if you get over, I reckon 34, 35 points to keep you up. I think it'll be that tight.
I think it's gonna be a low points total to stay up this year. I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Yeah, the one thing I will say about Palace, right, whether we agree with that decision to sack him or not, and who they're bringing in, it was decisive action. They didn't sit there twiddling their thumbs. They looked at the form and just thought, this can't go on with, 3 points above the relegation zone with no win in this year. We've got to make drastic action and find something else to secure our Premier League status.
Yeah.
And that's what they've done. And the thing is, we've been in the bottom 3. And the worry is, we could lose to Southampton and dip back in the bottom three and still not make a change because they're not decisive like that, and that's the worry for me.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Dan. When you look at, you sit there and say we look at Palace haven't won a game in the league in 2023. We went, what was it, 2 wins for a very long period of time. I think it was we had, and like you said, there was no decisive action then, and there was probably more managers about at that moment than there is now. More managers that could be interested in taking the job as well.
You're at the business end of the season now, so it's either going to have to be a manager that's out of work, because
and there's a reason why managers are out of work.
Yeah, especially teams that are, like Middlesbrough, and they're pushing at the top end of the Championship for promotion. They're going to be very, very reluctant to let their manager go. So, like you say, it's either going to have to be a manager from another struggling club or someone who's already out of work, because I can't see a lot of clubs letting their managers go at the business end of the season.
Or an interim manager. You just look at an interim manager sometimes, whether it's Kevin Nolan or something like. If it gets to the point where, like we said, they're not playing for the manager, we lose the Southampton game, and we're sinking. You just have to make the change. You just have to, because
you're relying on that new manager bounce, basically. Yeah,
that's it, and that could be enough to get you through. You get enough points from that bounce.
The thing is now as well, when you look at it, is that say Moyes was to go, it's just say we lose to Southampton, they sack Moyes, then you've got to worry that the new manager coming in will sacrifice the Conference League to stay in the Premier League, because he's back in
the Carabao Cup when we was went to the quarterfinals, was it quarter or semis against Arsenal, and they didn't
quarterfinals, wasn't it? We was at that one, damn it.
We was at that one, yeah. And like they weren't up for it, and they were there for the taking, but Moyes didn't want it, and he just threw the game basically, like that. Yeah, that is the worry. But at the end of the day, look, I know we always have this debate, Gray, and I agree with you a lot. That you can't put your Premier League survival in the trophy cabinet and your trophies over, but to sort of sacrifice our Premier League status for that Conference League, as much as I do, I'm not saying it's too Bob. I think that's a step too far. That's I don't know. I just think if we're at that point where we're in free fall, you can't just keep him because we're still in the Conference League. So a change could be preferable.
That's the thing is, it is that you lose to Southampton, it opens up a different massive, scenario. You beat Southampton, things are a bit more comfortable, and that's what you got looking at. You're looking at the remaining games of the season, and we're playing 4 or 5 of our relegation rivals. We win them 4 or 5 games, we're top. But then you're sitting there thinking, can we realistically win them 4 or 5 games?
Yeah. Honestly, Dolbster here says we'll probably be the next to sack their manager. Watch this space. I actually think Brendan Rodgers would get a tune out of this team.
I forgot they're down with us as well.
Yeah. They've gradually. The thing is, they've gradually got sucked in. They look like they were sort of going to be mid-table, and pull away from it, but they're gradually getting pulled into it. They're in it now, but it's been a gradual decline this season.
I think their manager would get a tune out of. I think Rodgson could do that. Like, I think if we swapped managers, if we swap managers, we both stay up. It's just they're both coming into new teams, picking them up and finding ways to change it around. So, but that won't happen. I think this is a comment, bro. You look like Andrew Tate Bow, dude. I mean, I don't know whether to be offended or complimented. Honestly, let's just quickly talk about the Conference League. We got Ghent. Lads, what do you make of the draw of Ghent and then Anderlecht or what was it?
AZ Alkmaar.
Yeah. That's our draw for the next 2 rounds. What do you guys make of that?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were saying about it earlier, Scott, weren't we? It was. I think that's probably the that's probably the best draw we could have wished for, I think.
Yeah.
No disrespect again, but out of all that, we wanted to avoid Alkmaar, Anderlecht knocked out Villarreal, Nice and Fiorentina. Even Basel, they've got Champions League experience. So
I think what we've said, we got the better side of the draw. I think.
Yeah.
Out of the 4 teams in this side, I think we've got the better side of it. We've already beaten Anderlecht twice this season. Alkmaar and no mugs, as someone said in the comments there, they did not Lazio out. And
Look,
I watched the first game of the Lazio Alkmaar game, and I thought Alkmaar were quite good.
The thing is, it's a
Very
quarter-final of a European competition. Everybody's there on merit. They're all going to be good sides at this stage of the competition.
And Dan, you are right. They are second in the Dutch league. Lazio, I think, are third in Serie A and the only team to beat Napoli.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That shows that Alkmaar are no mugs. But when you look at the other side, Nice are on a very, very good run at the moment. Basel, like Graham said, they can be a tough opposition. Who's the other two there? Fiorentina.
You've got Lech Poznan. That'd be a difficult place to go to.
Exactly. So,
like I say, quarterfinals, you can't take anyone for granted at this stage of the competition. Everybody's there on merit. They've got there through.
And we need to play. We need to play better. Look, you can only beat what's in front of you, and Lineker weren't a great side, but we did the job both times. Clean sheet, got some goals. We were very in the first leg. As I said, we didn't get out of second gear. You won't be able to do that against these sides now.
Yeah. We got to play. I think go to Ghent and play our strongest team.
I think Ghent they're near. I think they're fifth in the Belgian.
Yeah.
So, someone said, did we slap them last season? No, that was Genk. This is Ghent.
Yeah, a lot of people getting confused. I saw people posting like Genk badges. Yeah. We've drawn Genk in the next round. It's like one letter difference.
Yeah. It's just one end. We've got to approach the game in the right manner. It's not going to be a game where I think last night was the last time we'll have the opportunity to see the youngsters in the competition. It will be from now on.
Oh,
they play very attacking football as well.
Rubber finger.
So, to be fair, if they play very attacking football, then you can obviously see Moyes going back to his counter-attack style and starting Antonio.
Yeah.
Which it might work, it might not. We'll have to wait and see. But as I said, I don't see the youngsters coming on like it did last night. And like I think we said it after the game in the reaction, Gray. It was nice to see the young lads out there yesterday. Lang come on. Levi Lang come on the centre half. Potts come in the centre midfield. Potts looked quite good, I thought.
Yeah, I thought he was very lively.
Put a couple of sturdy tackles in.
Yeah. Bama, honestly, I think can stake his claim of being in this squad. I want to see more from him.
Do you know? I know a lot of managers don't do it anymore, but I just feel with Mbamba and Ings and Skamaka, we've got players there. He's a youngster. I think he got his booking because he got his goal, and it sort of he had that extra energy, extra burst, and then he got booked and had to sort of calm himself down a little bit. Because the emotion.
I thought that was a ridiculous booking, that early. I thought that was a silly booking. Like I didn't agree with that.
I think that was sort of the adrenaline running through him. No,
I mean not on his part. I mean on the ref's part. I didn't agree.
Yeah. And
I didn't agree with it.
But they seem strikers that are suited to play in the two. That's the frustrating thing for me, that we're never going to see that under Moyes. And you've got probably even Antonio. I'd like to see Antonio in a two with Ings or Skamaka. But we probably won't see that.
No. You never. We all need to give up on this dream of seeing a two up top. It's not going to happen.
But it was good to see. I just feel now that I think this now with the teams we've got, unless we go there, I think we're away the first leg, which I'd rather have, because by the time you bring them back to your place, you know what you've got to do.
Yeah.
And we go out there, we get that. If we can get a win out there, make it a bit more easier bringing them back, and then go on.
You go strong. You score enough goal. You get a decent deficit. Like we had, we was only 2 goals. But say you win by 3 goals, we go super strong, right? Steamroll them. Then when you're at home, you can make some changes, which is good for the league. You know, that's what we want to do. So we don't have to go full strength in every leg in every game. We can change that so we can compete on two fronts. That's the best, way. And I think, looking at the final, Stevie B says, I just looked at the stadium for the final, a pathetic 19,000 capacity. If we get to the final, West Ham will take 25,000 plus fans to Borough, regardless of the allocation. Crazy choice of stadium. It is, yeah, I agree. That's mad. When you think about it, West Ham, we'd fill that on our own.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, just not only that, Dan, you look at some of the other sides that were in the competition. Fiorentina will probably fill that. Lazio, if they had got there, they would fill that.
You know what the problem is as well on these European competitions, like the 19,000 capacity don't get split between our fans and the opposite fans. You got corporate and guests and journalists.
I reckon out of that, you probably get 6,000 each.
I'll be honest, mate. I think we'd be lucky to get that. I think you're probably more like 4.5, 5.
It's pathetic.
That's one of the downsides of the FA Cup as well. Is the allocations you get for that, because the amount of corporate that's involved and stuff like that.
It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Like fans, every fan dreams of going to see their club win a final. Win a cup in a final, and they're brushed aside for these corporate mugs and journos and influencers, celebs, and all of that stuff.
There's some corporate that probably go every single game, because it's probably corporate people who are West Ham fans. But then when you get to these situations, you'll get corporate people just going because they can.
You think about it, there's going to be fans that have gone to every away game in the league and in Europe that will miss out because it's got to give it to the corporates. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Josiah, £5 super chat. Thank you, Josiah, mate.
Thank you, Josiah. Thank you very much.
I would like Brendan Rodgers. I think he said I prefer Brendan Rodgers than David Moyes, who's the biggest clown in London. And Zippo Circus is in town. I don't know if that's a thing anymore. I always remember Zippo Circus. Well, he used to come Manor Park.
I think they're still going, mate.
Yeah, I think they're
still going. Yeah, I did go to see it once when it came to Manor Park. But it's I didn't bother reading the Mail report where they were slagging our fans off. I saw that for just simple bollocks, trash.
So the amazing thing, right? We're sitting. So where we sit, because obviously you weren't there last night, Dan, and Graham was in your seat. We turned around and said, those of us that are regulars there, we're chatting, and we turned around and said, no matter we win, they're going to slag us off for the state of the crowd. We lose, they're going to slag us off for the state of the crowd. And there we go. Someone actually did. Shock horror that they've run that story.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't wipe my ass with that rag. Honestly. But I think let's fingers crossed we can win it, and there'll be a bit of light at the end of this dark tunnel that is the season. But good show, lads. Bit of fiery. Sorry if I came on a bit strong, Graham, but people were gaslighting me in the comments.
Dan, I think it's becoming a pattern now. We seem to have a rare every week.
We should have our own show, Graham.
It could be our new thing, Dan. Graham and Dan's tiff.
We've got to have our own show. Yeah, we'll have our own show.
If it's us three next week, I'm wearing a black and white striped shirt like a WWE referee. Someone said that in the comments. So.
What? You wear a ref? Go on, just wear a ref shirt. No, I wasn't even angry. I wasn't even annoyed with Graham. But it's just when people in the comments are just gaslighting you, saying, "Oh, you hate kids and you don't care about sick kids or whatever." I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you listening from what I'm saying that suggests that?
The one thing you'll always find with us five on this channel is that we can sit here and have a row with each other, but we're still mates at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's what's the fun of it. That's the fun. Yeah, you have a bit of spine, you get heated, and then you
Me and Dan will go on the lash next week.
Yes. Yeah, I owe you a drink. I think you bought the beers last time, didn't you?
probably, I don't know, can't remember.
Listen, I can't respect Graham as an elder because everyone's saying how young he's looking now. So when I see him, I don't see an elder. You know?
Just for me. No, I don't use just for me.
Someone called you Benjamin Button in the chat.
Benjamin Button.
Yeah,
in the comments. But yes, was it 2-week break now?
Mm-hmm.
2-week break, so no football, but there will be content throughout.
Yes,
I believe. Obviously, Scott's preview. We'll have to put Scott to work doing something else productive. Is no previews and all of that going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get some stuff out and obviously be back for Friday Night Pie next week. Hopefully, Nikki is back and we wish Ryan all the best to get better. And hopefully he's back as well. And because we'll mix up this is us three the second time in a row, isn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, that's
good.
it. Let's just kick them off. Make it the Dan Scott and Graham show.
just a video of Scott refereeing me and Dan every week.
Yeah, that's it. I'll make some sort of thumbnail of us like. Oh, here we go.
We'll have a weigh-in and everything, Dan.
He loves this. If we had a lair, we'd be guaranteed to win it. Look at him. He's ridiculous impression of me. What happened to Dom TV? When's the next upload, Dom? To Dom TV. Hey, it's been a few years. But yeah. Anyway, thank you everyone for your comments. Everyone, obviously, like I said, we do read them all. We can't read them all out because it will just be us reading comments and there'll be no actual show. But wish you all a good day. Yes, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yep.
Enjoy it. Graham's going to go to bed. He's past his bedtime.
No.
Once again, condolences to the Gold family.
Yes,
Get words out my mouth.
Terrible few weeks for him. So condolences, thoughts with him.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, we'll see you during the week, and we'll be back next Friday as well for more Friday night fights
with Ray and Dan. Friday should be FNF Friday Night Fight.
Let's do it. I think we should change the name and we just have heated debates and we go, right, what opinions do we disagree on? Let's have it. Friday Night Fight. I like that. One flip say Dan hates kids. Yeah. Come on, you. Oh, fuck. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.